just got this awesome, sick Crested Gecko, absolutely gorgeous animal. I wanted to show you guys him first before anyone else. Check it out. He's not here. Hang on just a second. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Yikes. Yeah, let's just go ahead and start the video. What's going on, guys? Brian Schmidt here from Guardians of the Geckos, and in this video I'll be showing you all how we make our baby Crested Gecko hatchling tiny homes, bins, tiny apartments, mansions. I like tiny apartments, let's go with that. And we'll be using this shoebox container from the Container Store, which you can still order online right now. And this whole setup is supposed to be super simple yet classy, and it's supposed to make your life easier. But before we get started, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, hit that notifications bell so you don't miss any of our future uploads. So this setup is for Crested Gecko babies, fresh out of the egg all the way up until 10 grams. You can also use this for gargoyle babies, Ciliatus, chihuahuas, any of the new Caledonian species. Now, some people may look at this little tiny shoebox and be like, oh my God, you're keeping a little baby gecko in that tiny little thing. Well, there's an actual reason for why this is so small with the baby. Not much room for the little baby gecko to travel in here, meaning that at first, when they're very fragile because they're young, it'll be easier to find their food. And then on top of it, it'll allow you an easier, manageable setup to maintain cleanliness, monitor their humidity, their shedding, all of the above. And that's pretty much why we do this. And because we'll be using the hole driller to drill a hole in the front of this right there and installing a little screen vent in the front. So imagine someone like me that has hundreds and hundreds of baby Crested Geckos in the gecko room. When you mist them at night, could you imagine going through hundreds of geckos and lifting up the top of this, misting every single one individually like that? So why I install the screen vents is I can, in my rack system, or if you don't have a rack system, you can line up all the tubs, just go down the line and spray mist, 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 mist. It will save you a ton of time. And when you're a gecko breeder like me, time is, essentially money. It takes a lot of time to take care of these when you have so many. So any way to make it easier is definitely the way to go. So anyways, hope that was enlightening. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and put the all the supplies you will need in the description box below, including the links where you can get those items either from Amazon, the Container Store website, whatever you need to essentially make it, and the items that are gonna go in it. So we're gonna flip on over to everything you need right now. So here are all the tools and supplies you guys will need, starting with a power drill, a 2-inch hole driller that will be connected to a drill bit for your power drill. I bought this one at Home Depot. A soldering iron, a clear shoebox from the Container Store. You can also get one from Walmart, which will be a little bit cheaper. A small 2-inch circular screen vent. You'll also need paper towels, and also, don't throw this out, but the very end cardboard paper towel tube roll. Also, you could use a toilet paper tube roll. Another alternative to that is the foam piping insulation you can find at hardware stores. This one is from Home Depot. Also some fake plants, and some more fake plants. All right, we are out here on our patio, and Priscilla here is gonna demonstrate for you guys how to use the hole driller. Nothing like hot girls and power tools. Anyway, so she is actually first, before you do it, what she's gonna do is line up the drill bit on the container, and she's gonna go forward with the drill to get the drill bit to go through the plastic first, and then once it's through, we're actually going to put the drill in reverse because, you know, the plastic is so thin, and I mean, you can drill through wood with this thing, that putting it in reverse and then going through the rest of the way in reverse will keep you from damaging, less likely to damage the container as you drill through it. So anyways, take it. Lined up right in the middle. Yep, so she went through it. Now she's gonna go in reverse. And boom shakalaka. It's kind of hot. Boom. That's the part you get out of it. And Priscilla, would you like to show off?
So this is the hole.
Look at that, perfect 360 right there. And then here is our 2-inch vent that we ordered online. So it lines up perfectly on there. See, and on the back side. Look at that. It looks super sharp, super professional. Perfect hole. And Priscilla, good job. You did a kick-ass job.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so now that we got our container with our hole drilled and vent installed, the next step, and this is completely based on the amount of airflow that's gonna be in your setup or your room. I said earlier we needed, this is optional, but a soldering iron. This is to actually simply drill a hole through the back of the container. We're gonna drill a few holes back here. And this will allow air to easily pass through from the front of the container where the screen is. Through these holes, I'm simply poking through in the back. This is extremely hot, obviously. And I should probably be wearing a mask so I'm not breathing in the melted plastic. Look at all that smoke right there. But like I said, let's go ahead and unplug that. I just drilled 5 holes in the back of that right there, as you can see. That's gonna be completely based on the amount of airflow you have in the room, because when you're misting at night, remember for crested geckos, you want to mist it to where it's nice and humid in the evening. They can lick the water right off the little walls in here, but it's not gonna be overly saturated where it's gonna stay humid 24/7. You want a dry out period the next day. You wanna just mist enough to where it's, you know, saturated at night, but there's enough airflow where it'll dry out the next day. You don't want to keep 100% humidity at this at all times. So, and that's why I said optional for this, because obviously some rooms that might have a lot more airflow, you may not even need to drill holes in the back of this. Some rooms that have less airflow, you may need to drill a lot more. Sometimes it helps for us. We actually keep a fan in the gecko room circulating the air in there at all times. So, anyways, so the next step, we're gonna go ahead and get a 1 sheet of the paper towel here. That is gonna be our substrate. The reason we're using a paper towel is it's super simple to maintain the cleanliness of the little tub. So obviously when it gets dirty, you just take it out, throw it out, get in a new one. And you can easily see too, especially for new crested gecko babies, for you newbies out there, you can tell if your crested gecko is eating their fruit mix diets, obviously, by if they are pooping on the paper towel. If they're pooping, they're most likely eating their food. obviously with the white paper towel, it's easy to see their little black poops. Anyways, after that, we're gonna go ahead and take this paper towel cardboard tube roll. It's pretty long, so what we're gonna do, get scissors and just simply cut it in half. Boom. And these little tube rolls are like the perfect little binoculars. I mean, little hides for your crested geckos. We'll just put both of those in there. And an alternative to it, or you can use this in addition of, is this right here. This is a piping insulation you can find at any tools hardware store. I got this at Home Depot, and it's usually like, I think it's like 8 feet of this, basically a giant pool noodle. 8 feet of this is typically, I think, like $1.50 or something like that, and you can cut it up to the different dimensions. We use this in some of our bigger enclosures too, because you can cut it to the exact size of the width of the terrarium, and it gives a great little jumping ledge for crested geckos or other New Caledonian species. But what we're gonna do with this one, for in here, you could either place it across the side like this, or sometimes what we do is, for the babies, we'll cut this in half, make it a little bit smaller because it's a hatchling. And cut that there, and then basically cut it in half the other way. And it makes, like I said, just for a hatchling, but a tiny little rounded cave hide for your geckos to hide in as well. So we'll put a couple of those in that. We'll save this for another one. And now we got something going in here. It's starting to look like something. Next, we're gonna take this fake plant. We're not, obviously not gonna use all of it, but this one plant will provide some fake foliage for several of our crested gecko babies. We'll just cut off a piece right here. Cut off a small piece, save that for more enclosures. We're just gonna curve this around some, and we'll put it in the back of the enclosure there. And then we got some of these little fake plant ferns too. We're gonna just scatter these around in there too. Just use a couple of them. You don't want it to be completely full of stuff. You want the gecko to be able to jump around and see what it's doing. There we go. So you can see him, because this is a clear bin, you can see him on all sides. He has several little hides in there to get away from things, some fake foliage. The only thing you need to do is add a little food container. We use these little condiment containers for our fruit diet mixes that we're gonna add in here. A great idea for hatchlings for feeding the crested gecko diets is using upside down water bottle caps or Gatorade caps and adding them in there. So as you can see, everything in here is very affordable, very easy to manage and clean, and that's the whole point. It's all about saving you time and making sure the gecko has a very simple setup so he can thrive in his beginning stages of life, find his food easily, proper environment, good humidity flow in there. And yeah, so we're gonna add a little bit of food to this. And last but not least, we gotta get the gecko. And there's our little guy right there. I'm gonna go ahead and add him in. So that's all I have for you guys in the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, all the tools and everything we used for this little simple build will be in the description box below, except for the gecko. The gecko you can get from our online website at www.guardiansofthegeckos.com. So anyways, like I said earlier, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future uploads. And we'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.